All right, so we haven't done this in a while, but beginning of the year, we decided instead of doing a homework assignment every week because we were getting burnt out, we decided to do um, homework where if we lose a bet, then the winner of that bet gets to
Box
give out a
office
homework assignment.
or
Yes,
box office
but
reviews.
box office reviews. We guess high or low, and the winner gets to give the other
Hmm.
person a movie. But also when we did special events like the Oscars,
Correct.
so I won the Oscars, and I gave you Bombshell,
Hmm.
which I had to pick an Oscar movie to give you, so I gave you Bombshell,
Right.
and then you had won the first box office of the year. We've tied a couple times. We've had asterisk wins, but like one real win. And you gave me The Shining.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go first because The Shining is an older movie. So I'll go first. And you've seen it and I've seen it. So if you've never seen The Shining,
I,
spoiler alert.
everybody but you had seen The Shining before this, so yes, let's hear
I
about
know.
me
I
finally
know.
forcing you to see a classic movie.
From 1980. Like I knew it was an old movie, but I didn't realize how old.
I was -4.
Yeah. Um, I wasn't scared at all. Like, I don't know if it's because it was such an old movie, but it almost felt like a really bad horror movie nowadays. Like, don't hate me. I'm sorry, internet, but I didn't
It
like it.
wasn't. It's not meant for like gore and stabbing. It's meant for the
I
building of
know.
suspense and solitude and going crazy and.
I know, but I found it kind of dull, to be honest. I'm sorry. You can hate me, but I found it boring,
Okay.
and I can't I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen so many memes over the years of it, or parodies of it.
Red rum.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't scary to me. It didn't give me like, oh, what's gonna happen. I wasn't really interested in it. The only thing, um, uh, I will say that while Jack Nichols was acting, I was like seeing part of him playing Two Face from the Batman movies. Like some of that came out in it, and I was like, oh, he did that same facial expression when he was in the Batman movie as Two Face. But like, I didn't find it really entertaining. And I've liked classic movies. I've watched a lot of classic movies that I'm like, okay, I like this, but this was not one of them.
With today's
I
society being all about, picking this or loving this or hating this, I think we can universally come together as a community for the first time as a planet and say that what the fuck is wrong with you? I think everybody, I really hope nobody ever blasts you because you're the sweet one and I'm the asshole. But saying The Shining, A, wasn't scary, but B, wasn't good is
I'm not
offensive.
I'm not saying it was good for its time. Okay? Like, but I don't see it as I would love to watch this again, or even if it was just on, I have it on the background.
Do
Like
you
it's just,
understand why it's a classic?
I guess, but it's
That's a fake answer. That's just trying to appease people. You don't.
I'm sorry. I just didn't like it, and I mean, this is you can combat me all you want,
Yeah.
but like you're not gonna change my mind on it.
I'm
Like
not
I
trying to
didn't.
change your mind. I'm trying to make you say it
I
over and
know.
over again so people get more and more angry with you that watch this. That's my goal.
Yeah, do people think this is funny or not funny? Does people think this is scary? Because it was not scary at all.
It's just a classic horror movie of how it was done, how it was written, and
You know what I started laughing at one point when she was running around because she has the most awful run. She's like, like her hands are going like this, and she's running with a knife in her hand. I'm like, I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, what is she doing? And I will say she was smart. She wasn't like the classic dumb girl in a horror movie, like, and she like knocked him unconscious and like ran away or came to check on him. Like she locked him away, and I was like, okay, smart move. Like, thank you for being smart in this moment. But like, I'm sorry, I couldn't get over. She was just so awkward and like, it,
all right. So let me hear your honest grade on it then. because not a sympathy grade. Like, I don't want you to be like, well, I mean, I could understand why it was good. I'm gonna give it a 7. No, I want to hear your honest grade on right now for the first time watching The Shining.
5.5.
Ooh, is that one of the lowest?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was bored. I'm sorry. I'm like sitting there waiting for something to happen, and like he's playing with his trucks, and a ball rolls to him, and there's nobody there.
Come play
Like,
with us.
I don't. But I was expecting to see more of the twins because they're so iconic and everything. You saw them like twice, and that was it. And then the twist at the end where he's like in the photo from 1921 and it's him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I could see that because he had mentioned like it's always been you. And he was hallucinating all these things back in the 20s and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, it didn't grab me. It didn't grab my attention. And it might be because I'm watching it in 2020 instead of, 1980 or 1990 or 2000.
5.5.
Like, I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize to me. Don't apologize to me. I didn't. When I watched it, I was a little disappointed as well. But not
Really?
not to the extent as yourself. I understood where it came from and the reasoning for it being one of the classic movies, but I did not have as much hate for it as you do.
I don't hate it. I just don't get why people love
Like
it.
it?
So much.
I don't hate it, but I don't know why people like it. All right, my turn. My turn.
Yeah.
I watched Bombshell. Fuck
Now,
you.
no spoilers on this part because I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So no spoilers. I do plan on watching.
How do I not spoil this type of a movie though? But
I mean,
no.
yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. You can yell at me, whatever. I thought Bombshell was a little better than I expected.
Okay.
But it had a lot of cringe moments, which is good because the whole movie of it is supposed to be cringe.
Yeah.
And it made me feel uncomfortable in a few moments of it, which is saying something. So I honestly thought
uncomfortable in the moments where the guy was doing something and you're just like, oh, why is he doing that? Or like uncomfortable in some other way.
Uncomfortable just through and through with the way things were said and acted, etc. There is a friend of the main character, or one of the main characters, that works in the Fox News studios, and she is a closet Democrat and closet lesbian. And I'm unsure if this is a true person that was there or just somebody they added to the film. But it was her trying to just kind of be not undercover, but she said she likes living in chaos, and that's why she works at Fox. And she contacted, when she wanted to be a reporter, she contacted all the different places, and Fox was the only place that hit her up. So she was like,
is she blonde?
I don't believe so. I can't remember.
Okay.
But she ends up, you end up finding a little bit of her backstory and stuff like that. And when one of the main characters finds out about this, she's got a picture on her desk of her and a college friend. And she's like, why do you have this on your desk? Because everybody's so, paranoid about that kind of lifestyle and everything. So she puts it in her drawer. But at the end of the movie, everything happens, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the movie, the lady's like, because the head guy at Fox ended up having to step down, or was forced to.
Yep.
And because he did that, she takes it back out of her desk and puts it up like, I can be proud of who I am. And then the new guy steps in, and then the main character goes over and grabs it back off her desk and puts it back in the drawer. So it's like the entire...
like nothing changed.
Yeah, nothing changed. Another white man stepped in, so you can't be yourself. I did like...
Darn white men.
I did like the not just costume designs, but the actual faces and the way they looked exactly like their characters.
Yeah.
It gave me, since I didn't follow the story at all, I don't follow politics, I choose not to, because I do enough harmful things to myself in my normal everyday life. I don't need to follow politics.
It's not solely, Fox News, very political, but like the story wasn't really about politics, right? Like it was
It was a huge amount about Trump and politics. It was
All right.
built on that shit.
Okay.
So that's another reason why it made me feel uncomfortable. Again, fuck you, S, for sending me a political movie. But I would say it's a decent watch I would recommend it if you don't know much about the story. It's a perfect movie for somebody like me who didn't follow the story and was all over the fucking internet finding any scoop I possibly could and listening to everybody's chit chat on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
It's a perfect movie for somebody like me. If you know all about it, you're going to be bored and nitpick it. You're going to be like, that never really happened, or that did happen, but it wasn't like that, or that's not how they found out, it was in an email. You know, that kind of shit. If you are somebody who kind of stepped away and don't know it, I would recommend this movie. But if you don't like politics, again, you're going to feel uncomfortable almost the entire way.
So what's your grade?
I would give it a 6.5 to 7.
Okay.
Not horrible,
bad,
not a waste of my time. I did watch it in one sitting. I honestly... again, the recommendation is if you didn't follow the original story, it gives you a better understanding of what occurred.
Because they're gonna change things.
So you take it with a grain of salt.
Margot Robbie's character is an added character, or like she's a combined character for multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously they're gonna change things because they have to. Like even when you adapt a book into a movie, you have to change things. There are just things that don't translate well, or the length of it and everything. So I'm surprised you 6.5, 7. I guess 6.5 is kind of where I figured you'd put it.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I learned something
it.
from it. I learned something from it because it wasn't just a story I've already heard. I knew rumors of it, but I'd like to see a little bit more, and that gave me exactly what I wanted, and I need no more. Thank you. I'm done. You can take the plate back to the kitchen.